Hey guys, what is up? I hope everybody has been having a great day. I'm super excited to bring you guys what I think is probably a video you guys have really wanted me to produce for a while, which is me basically using my long drive club out on the golf course. So if you guys enjoy this video, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because that really does help me out and is greatly appreciated. So we're gonna be playing the back nine at Crofton Country Club, and I would have played the front, but there's some people out there, and this is probably a better nine to showcase the long drive club anyway. So this is a 480 yard par 4 dogleg left, and yeah, I'm gonna be letting it go with the long drive club on every hole. That's not a par 3. I don't know how it's gonna go. I've actually never played with a long drive club, which, believe it or not, but it'll be feast or famine, so hopefully we have a little more of a feast today. So let's get into it. And I think I'm actually perfect. I tried to cut the corner over those trees, and I think we're gonna have a really short wedge shot in. Yeah, I killed that ball, and we'll see where it ended up. All right, guys, this is by far the furthest I've been up on this hole in my life from the tips. This is a 480 yard par 4, and just in the left rough here. I haven't gotten the yardage yet, but I believe this is definitely inside 100 yards. And a couple things I want to clear up first at the beginning of this video. Long drive clubs, as they are allowed in the long drive events we compete in, are 100% USGA conforming. Callaway's done a great job making a really great long drive head that holds up to my speeds and is, as I said, USGA conforming. Just to be clear, this is a club that could be played on the PGA Tour. However, I wouldn't recommend it because if you're off, it's out of bounds or it's toast. So that's the reason we don't use long drive clubs on the tour or playing golf, is because the accuracy we give up, it simply makes it not worth the distance we gain. I'm typically maybe back in the fairway right there or between that, just short of that tree. So you can see the distance gain I got here. And yeah, it's just pretty awesome. And it's definitely makes you want to use the long drive club a little more often. All right, so we have 80 yards left here. Pin looks like it's middle of the green, and a little bit of wind, but it's not a huge factor. The ball is probably gonna jump a bit, so I'm gonna hit a 60-degree wedge. I'm trying to land this at about 73 to 74. Let it run out 20 feet right to the hole, and try to start this off with a really nice 3. All right, so that was a beautiful shot. Perfect distance there. Hit it exactly the way I wanted to. And I'll tell you guys, probably one of the hardest things about playing with a long drive club is the come down on the next shot. So as you can imagine, you have to be in a pretty crazy physiological place to hit a golf ball 400 yards. And then to drop down to 80 yards a shot after that, you know, it's definitely a big adjustment. And so it's definitely tough to do, but you can see the pitch mark right there. That's where the ball ended up. And you can see that last tree down there, I was just past that, hitting the shot in, so it definitely made the hole a lot easier. All right, so that's about as good as a hole as I could have hoped for to start off. And yeah, just goes to show, you know, if you can put it all together, distance can really be an important thing. And you know, that's the thing for me, is gonna be putting it all together. You know, hitting that 80 yard wedge shot to 6 feet and making the 6-footer, those all count just as much as a 400 yard drive. So if we can get those working like that next year, you know, I might be able to do something in pro golf. You know, we'll see. All right, so obviously, great start there. Now we have what I believe is the longest hole in the county, and one of the longest holes in the state of Maryland. This is a little bit north of 630 yards, dogleg left. I want to put this kind of right at the corner where you see those trees in the foreground start to fall off in that little dip. And yes, I do have TrackMan capturing these shots because I know you guys obviously want to know the numbers this long drive club is putting up. And one last little caveat, it's a little chilly today, and obviously I'm not like ramping up with 8 balls. So my numbers aren't going to be like true like competition speed numbers. They'll probably be in that 145 range. But it'll still give you guys a pretty good idea of what that kind of club speed can do on the course if you can square it up. All right, so I pushed that one out a little bit to the right. I'm kind of gonna be right on that edge of whether or not I'm in this little hazard or just in the rough a little bit. I probably missed my spot there by about 15-20 yards, which is actually not that big of a margin to miss when you're swinging at these speeds. But again, this is exactly why, you know, we never use 48-inch drivers. And when we do, you know, like Phil does from time to time, we always have a 45 inch as well. There's just, the club's length makes it too hard to be accurate. And you need that accuracy when you're trying to score well. And score well for a significant period of time, which is what you need if you want to make it on tour. So we'll see if we can find it. It's gonna be kind of right on that edge, but yeah, we'll see what we got. All right, so unfortunately, it looks like we went into this little creek right here. So I just took a drop. Got 2 club links, and so now we're gonna be just trying to hit a punch fade. The green is in between those trees right there. You can see it way out in the distance. So yeah, I can be starting it probably at the little dip in the trees there to try to play a huge cut. And I can probably get this really close to the green. It's gonna be tough to get it there, but we can definitely still make a 5. So let's see if we can do that. So that's a pretty good shot right there. Got it to fade, you know, right back into the fairway. In fact, it might have faded a little too much, but it's still in pretty good position. I'll probably have probably like a 30 or 40 yard chip shot. So I can definitely still make a 5. But again, this is why the long drive club, it's a very risky thing. And oftentimes the risk isn't worth the reward. It was great to have an easy 3 on 10, but now, you know, we're gonna be struggling for a 5 on a par 5. So it's kind of a risk reward thing. It can be great when it's great, but when it's bad, it can really cost you. So it's always just something to keep in mind. And so as we're driving up here, you can see I did stay in the fairway, and probably about, I'd say right around 30 to 40 yards left here. Pin's a bit back on the right. So let's see if we can get this one up and down. So that's a pretty good shot right there. As I'm walking up to it, it's perfect distance. Just pulled it a little bit. So I probably have about a 6-footer, which isn't too bad. So that one kind of stung a little bit. I thought I hit a good putt there. Started on line, I wanted to. Just stayed out to the right a bit, and that's gonna happen. You know, you just gotta kind of move on from it. Just how it goes sometimes. So on to hole 12. We have 180 yards left here, par 3. Pin's in the front right, and I'm gonna hit a 7-iron, which is about a 9 o'clock shot for me, about 180 yards. The reason being is there's water in front of the screen, as you'll see, and the winds here are really crazy. Like, it's very open out there, so the wind can really get you there if you're not careful. So and the green's very receptive, so I'm just gonna hit a bit of a flighted 7-iron to kind of hit it under that wind. All right, so that was right on the money when it came to accuracy I'm right at it, about 15 feet short. So I do have an uphill putt for birdie, which is definitely good. But even as low as I hit that, the wind really knocked it down. Probably cost me 5 to 8 yards, even with it being flighted like that. And so I'll give you guys a look at where the ball is. So it's right on the fringe there. You can see how that water really comes in closer than you think from the tee. And so yeah, we definitely have a makeable birdie here. So it'd be nice to get one back after what I did on hole 11. All right, so kind of a ho-hum par there. I mean, anytime I walk away with a par in a par 3, I'm never that upset. So not the worst hole. And now I'm around hole 13. I might actually hit it too far in this hole, but you know what? If I hit it over the trees, over the greens into the trees, I hit it over the green into the trees. Because I think you guys really do want to see me hit the long drive club for a round. So that's definitely what I'm gonna be doing. So here, I don't know if you can see the pin, but it's right over the right edge of that fairway bunker. And yeah, pretty much want to go right at it with a bit of a draw and yeah, let it go. All right guys, I want to apologize for that obnoxious club twirl. It's just sometimes when you hit a shot, that split second instinctual reaction is like, you kind of just feel like you have to. Because I needed to hit this shot a certain way, meaning if I peered it, it would have gone over the green. I needed to hit it just a hair low on the face so it would go a little bit shorter. And I hit it the exact spot I was trying to hit it, and it had this beautiful little fade. It's a bit left of the hole, but I think that this is gonna be on the green. I'm gonna have an eagle putt. All right, so I'm walking up to it now. It is on the green. The pin, as you can see, is, if you see the pin right there, it's in the middle. And I'll zoom in here so you can see where the ball ended up. So, I don't know if you can see it, but that's the ball right there. Looks like it didn't get too much roll. So yeah, about where I thought it would be, a little bit long. Also, I did find the pitch mark. It was right here. So you can see there, it landed probably just past the pin. So it's probably about a 385 carry right around, which is about right for a slight miss hit with the driver with this little tailwind. You can see it kicked off that hill pretty hard and ran out to the back part. So yeah, it's time to try making an eagle. So that sucked. I'm definitely pretty annoyed at myself right now, and it just goes to show, you know, how important it is once you get around the green. All right, so moving on to hole 14. This is a dogleg right. There is high grass left of the cart path, and basically what I'm gonna be doing is taking it straight over the trees on a direct line to the hole. And so if you look, you can see the trees I'm gonna be taking it over, and I'll zoom in a bit. That little bunker there is a green side bunker, and the green is just right of that. So it gives you an idea of kind of my line. So I'm gonna be taking it straight over those trees and trying to drop it right on the green. So that was a bit of a pull there. That is actually gonna be okay. It was a huge pull left. It's gonna be left of that water tower you guys saw out there. And the grass does end left of that high tower, of that water tower. So I should be actually in pretty good shape with a shot kind of coming back down that hill to the green. I'm probably pin high or pretty close to it, but just way left. So let's see if we can make a 3 here. All right, so I've just successfully located my ball. I'm driving up to it now, and I'm on the next tee, which kind of goes to show you how crazy this kind of way, this way of playing is. So I'll show you guys where I ended up here. So you can see just pretty much on that next tee, and there's the pitch marks pretty much right where the ball is right there. It's kind of the pitch mark. You can kind of see some of the dirt on the ball. And that's the high grass I was talking about. I actually carried it, which is pretty funny. And there's the green right there. I'll zoom in a bit. So that's what I got left. And that's how far left I was of my target line. So, and I forgot to mention, I have 105 yards left. I'm hitting my 54-degree wedge. The ball's very much sitting up. So I'm gonna squeeze this one, hit the ball first, get a little spin on it, and really just try to drop it right on top of that hole. So that was a very poor shot. I just really wasn't paying attention too much to the actual situation of the green, where there wasn't much green to my left because I'm never up there. But that was just a really poor shot. Good distance, just horrendous accuracy. But we're moving on to the next shot now. The good news is I have a very, very easy chip, and quite frankly, a very makeable chip. And that's kind of what we're gonna be doing here. Definitely gonna be trying to make this. Very easy lie right there, and I'm just gonna bump it just over that fringe with the 60-degree wedge, and we're gonna try to make this. All right, so, you know, pretty average up and down there. The ball kind of landed in the fringe and checked up more than I wanted it to, but nice little kick in par. So still even par. It's been a crazy round, but it's added up to level par so far. And now we're gonna head back into the wind now, so it's gonna be a little bit tougher. So here we have about a 390-yard par 4. I'm sorry if there's any wind noise, because it's dead into the wind. But I'm gonna be taking it right over that tree right there. The miss is definitely left, and we'll try to make another 3. All right, guys, so that went barely 300 yards actually, and it kind of just goes to show how strong the wind is right now. I have 104 yards left. I'm gonna be hitting a 54-degree wedge, and you can see the ball here. Just caught the edge of the fairway. You can see the pitch mark. Didn't get a lot of roll, but that's probably a good thing given where it is right now on the fairway. And that's the hole right there. Very accessible shot. Definitely can hit this one close. All right, so that was not a good shot. Caught a bit of a mud ball there. I should have probably cleaned the ball off before I hit that. Just pretty careless on my part. Ball just kind of shot to the right when I hit it. Looks like I'm probably gonna have about a 25-footer. It was pretty close to the right distance, but again, the accuracy was really bad. Just a little bit out of sync right now. I think part of it could be using a long drive club off the tee is throwing off my sync. Once I'm inside maybe 150 yards, but who knows, maybe I'm just stuck. But yeah, we can still make this putt, so let's try to knock it in. So another 4, was a little too strong in that putt. Just gave it a little bit too much speed, but cleaned up the 3-footer, comebacker, and so it's an all right 4. This is definitely a tough hole today because of the wind. So now we're going to be going on to the par 5. All right, so we have a big time birdie opportunity here, about a 580-yard par 5, hole 16. It's a bit into the wind, but it is also downhill, so it's probably going to cancel out. I'm going to be trying to start this at the right center and just turning it over to the left, and just trying to drop a bomb. So push that a little bit to the right. I think we'll be okay though. Probably just beat the trees a little bit. We'll have to just try to maybe hit a bit of a flighted shot into the green. We'll see where it went, but it's definitely the biggest thing I'm noticing with the long drive club is I'm actually having trouble turning it over, and I think that's because my club's feet are actually a little down where they would typically be in competition using the long drive club. Just because it's my first swing, you know, and it's colder and I'm a little bit tighter. So I think that is actually causing me to have trouble shutting the door. So what I've actually started doing is aiming up the left center of the fairway and letting it push out to the right a bit. And that's kind of really helped me kind of hit it a little more accurately. So yeah, really great spot here, and see what yards we got. So we have 199 yards left here. It's a bit of a headwind. So I'm gonna actually hit a 7-iron again. This time, instead of what I did on 12 with it being a 9 o'clock swing, I'm gonna hit an 11 o'clock swing here. It'll go a little bit higher and a little bit further, but it'll still be under the wind, which is what I want it to do. So let's try to knock one into the hole. So that was a pretty good shot there. Squeezed it out to the right a little bit, but the distance was right on the money. I took a peek at it with my rangefinder. Looks like we're gonna have about a 25-footer. It was pin high, she's been right. So not too bad for 200 yards at all, especially with a bit of a headwind. So let's see if we can knock in an eagle. So that was an okay 4. Just, I don't know, I'm just not really feeling it on the greens right now. Just for whatever reason, putting is just not cooperating. I think sometimes you just don't feel very good in the greens. This has kind of been one of those days so far. But still a decent 4, and got the birdie we were looking for. We're 1 under, which is definitely a good. And we got 2 more holes to play, so let's see if we can push even deeper under par. So we have 203 left here. Pin looks like it's back center, and I'm going with a 7-iron. Very similar number to what we had last hole with 199. I think the wind's starting to die a little bit, so it should be a little bit less of a problem on this hole. And we can definitely make it 2 here. Just gotta hit a good shot off the tee with the 7-iron. All right, so again, great line there, really great strike. Like the shot pretty good. I think it ballooned a little bit. It looks like it's in the front center part of the green, so I probably am looking at about 30 feet, which is all right. That's an acceptable shot from 200 yards, but I definitely would like to get closer to give myself a better look at birdie. So we'll see where we are when I get up there, and we can definitely still make it 2. So as I suspected, it's a bit short of the pin. Looks like we got about 35 feet or so, but it is uphill, and this is definitely a very makeable putt. So there's the hole right there, and there's the ball back there. So it's time to make a long putt for a change. So again, not the best putt, but the speed was all right. Had about 2.5, 3 feet left down the hill, so it was another pretty easy putt. All right guys, we're on our last hole today. A bit of a dogleg left, par 4. This is definitely not a hole that would fit my long drive club in terms of a good play typically, because there's a bit of a hill. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a hill right there, and I would definitely reach that, and there's a tiny little sliver of fairway to the left of it. That's where I'll be trying to fit it, but it's really, quite frankly, a low percentage shot, but we'll see what we can do. All right, so here we are, just a bit up on that hill, as I said, and let me get a quick yardage here, actually. Let's do quick yardage. I have 86 yards left. It looks like the pin is the front part of the green. I can definitely hit this one close, so let's do it. It's gonna be a 60-degree wedge, and we're just gonna try to knock it in there. So that wasn't a very good wedge shot at all. Again, the ball just shot directly left. I really don't know why it shouldn't have done that. I don't think there was mud on the ball. Might have just been, you know, golf being golf. I did have a bit of a lie above my feet, so that might have affected it a little bit. But regardless, looks like I have, that's where my ball is right here. Looks like I have probably about a 35 footer to shoot a 34. We'll see if we can knock it in. All right guys, so I hope you enjoyed that. I ended up shooting a 35 today. And would I use a 48-inch driver in tournament play? Probably not, because it probably goes about 15 yards max further than my 45-inch play driver, and the trouble and the uncertainty that brings into play with that extra yardage just simply doesn't square with the benefits I would gain. And it is possible I might do a situation where if I have a very, very open course and I wouldn't be penalized for being a little bit more offline, you might see a 48 get in there with a 45, and maybe I'll take out one of my longer irons. But other than that, it's probably just something that would be fun to play around with, and definitely makes the game really fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I had a lot of fun making it, and as always, if you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.